So it's what, January 18th, you said? And
Yes.
if we set that goal for June, that's 5 months away.
Okay.
We'll have to edit or cut out the me counting that on my fingers.
All right, welcome to One Life Perspectives, a new segment on the channel where Adam and I will be asking each other various questions about, you guessed it, our perspective on different topics. Today's topic, we are going to be discussing New Year's resolutions. So, Adam, did you set any New Year's resolutions this year? Is that something that you typically do? Is that something you did this year?
Honestly, I don't always do it, but this year I kind of set one, and I wanted to kind of have a reset this year. I had 3 main resolutions this year. They were, I wanted to work out every morning during the week.
Okay.
I wanted to do 1 household chore per day. And then I had a 3rd resolution.
Okay. What was that?
I have no idea. Do not remember it at all.
Number 3 is going well?
Yeah, number 3 is going great.
Nice.
Absolutely spectacularly.
Okay.
Like, I started off great. I was doing all 3. Don't remember the 3rd one.
You're doing it, though.
Doing it. I was definitely doing it. But eventually, what is today? January
18th.
January 18th, right? New Year's resolution, January 18th. I fell off last week.
Okay. So what were your other 2 again? It was to work out every day and do 1 household chore every day?
Correct.
Okay. So let me pull my notes back open here. Why do you think that those New Year's resolutions failed? Like, what you said, they started off pretty good?
Yeah, they started off pretty good. The first and second week of January, mostly the first week of January, I did indeed work out every morning. Then I hurt my back.
Oh, geez. How'd you do that? From working out or?
No, not even a little bit. So the first day I worked out, I did legs. I did deadlift.
Okay.
Right. And, I was fine. I did deadlift. I went pretty hard and my legs were really tired. That wasn't the issue. The next day though, I stood up wrong because my legs were super sore and I threw my back out.
Wait, doing what?
Just standing up. Sitting,
that's end of story. You just stood up and threw your back out?
Yep. I was at work, sitting down, getting up to go into the lab, stood up, pop, hurt my back.
Being in your 30s is great, right?
Yeah, it's spectacular. I don't know.
That didn't happen 5 years ago.
No, for sure it did not.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So after that, the working out every single morning kind of got thrown off because while my back hurt, it probably didn't hurt enough to, say, oh, I'm not working out every morning.
Right.
It just made me feel like not wanting to do it anymore.
Okay. Yeah. It was like the first barrier.
Yep.
Between getting there. Okay.
So like the first opportunity to fail the resolution I did because I just didn't work out the following morning. And then I used a similar excuse for doing chores every day.
Okay.
Mostly because I hate doing chores. And that was one of the reasons for the resolution. But like, I don't know, man. My back hurt.
Yeah. Back hurt too much to sweep.
Yep. For sure did. For sure.
How's your back doing now?
It's still in pain, but it's better now, but it still hurts a little bit.
Okay.
Surviving off of ibuprofen.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Well, I mean, I think that that's kind of a common story for people, right? They start off really well. I think they call the second Friday of the new year like quitters weekend or something like that. Why do you think it is super common for people to fail, and why do you think that?
Yeah, I think it's extremely common for people to fail their New Year's resolutions. And honestly, my main opinion on it is that people set their resolutions too lofty and without an ability to make a mistake and to fail it, right? Because the moment you actually fail your resolution, then you're like, okay, it's out the door, out the window. I'm not doing it anymore. Next year, do another resolution, right? So like what a good resolution or a good goal is going to be is something where instead of like, oh, you made one mistake and you failed,
Right.
you can build in a buffer zone, right? Like instead of working out every single morning, be like, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to work out 5 days a week.
Okay.
And whether that's in the morning, in the afternoon, whatever, it shouldn't matter. Just give yourself a goal of doing something 5 days a week, and then like make it a softer goal, but make it so that like, I don't know, if you don't do it, it's not failing the goal. I don't know the exact right way to do it.
Right. So you're just saying, if 1 week you don't hit the 5 days a week, stop viewing it as like a failure and just view it as, part of the process kind of
exactly
thing? Okay.
Exactly that. And the other thing with goals, with New Year's resolutions and goals, is I think you need a bigger end goal, not just having a process goal.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Explain that a little bit more.
So, for instance, it's much harder to. I'll use a example of like hiking up a mountain.
Okay.
Right. It's much more difficult if you were to hike up a direction if there was not a peak to that mountain. Right. Like if you want to climb a mountain and you had to really work hard to go up that mountain, but it just kept going up. There was no peak to it. There was no satisfying conclusion.
Yeah.
Then you're just lose, you're going to lose motivation eventually and be like, oh, I can't keep climbing. I'm just going to go back down.
Okay.
Right. But if there's a peak at the top of that where you're hitting your goal, your end goal, you're like, oh my God, this was awesome. Look at this view. Oh my gosh.
Right. There's a purpose to the end of it.
Exactly. And
okay.
One of the problems with the process goal is that you don't have an end conclusion to it, right?
Okay.
So
what is a process goal? What do you mean by that?
So like working out every day, or working out a certain number of days a week is part of a process towards something. But if you only have the process and you're not working towards something, then it's much more likely to fail.
Okay.
Right?
That makes sense.
What I'm thinking, I don't know 100%. I haven't ironed it out what my end goal is. But what I want to work towards, instead of working out every day, I want to increase my rock climbing grade.
Okay.
So that is like the satisfying conclusion to my process goal, right?
Yeah.
So if I have it as increase my rock climbing grade up here, then I have the process being work out 5 days a week or eat right or lose weight. I haven't ironed out the specifics of it yet, but like if you put little steps in the middle towards a big process, it makes it much more likely you're going to eventually achieve your goal.
More tangible that way too, right?
Yeah.
Because working out 5 days a week, like to what end, just, okay, it's a year later, I'm working out 5 days a week. Like now I have the same goal the next year. Like, hey, you'd probably feel better if you did that, but you can reassess your goals if you hit that rock climbing grade or whatever
exactly
the goal is. Okay. I like that. Any additional things that you think that people are having trouble with that are failing is besides just focusing on the process goal versus...
Yeah. So one thing I think people are there's a big thing I think people are not doing, and that's writing out the steps towards that goal, right? And coming up with goals that are either too big or too small, right?
Okay.
Like a process goal is just way too small, right?
Okay.
But there are also goals that are just far too above what people do, or what people are able to do. And I watched this video. I don't remember the exact name. It'll be down in the description below. But it had a really good layout for how to figure out what the right goal is for you, right? So it came up with 3 steps on how to complete a goal, or on how to figure out what you want your goal to be. So the 3 things to figure it out are what excites you. So like, what are you like when you're bored throughout the day, and what do you start thinking about? Like just doing some mindless job. What is it that your brain goes to when what are you thinking about that it starts to excite you? What drains you of energy, right? So when you figure out what drains you of energy, if that has to do with what excites you, maybe you have to figure out a process to prevent you from getting your energy drained within that excitement.
Like overindulgence type thing?
No, not necessarily overindulgence. Just like, for instance, some people who are introverts, if they're around too many people for too long, it drains you of energy.
Okay.
So like,
what would the example of something that excites you being the thing that drains you?
So I would say what excites me is rock climbing, right?
Okay.
I think about rock climbing all the time right now. Like, I mean, it's been like that for a couple of months.
Yeah.
The other thing is, this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'll leave that as a more private goal for the future and use rock climbing as my example.
Right.
So my rock climbing goal, let's say getting to a 5'11", right? Let's say that's my end goal, which I think is going to be the case. I think my end goal is to be able to consistently do 5'11".
And for the viewers out there that are not familiar with rock climbing grading, it works on a 5-point scale. So the easiest routes are at a 5.5, and they progressively get harder with 5.5 plus, and then 5.6 minus, 5.6, 5.6 plus, all the way up to a 5'11", which is pretty difficult.
Yep.
And that's
like professionals go all the way up to like 5'14", 5'15". I'm not there, but
but go on. So.
Yeah, thank you for the explanation for that.
Yep.
So that's what really excites me, and what drains me of energy on that is just when I'm sitting there thinking about working out, I just don't feel motivated to work out unless I have a target, right? It's hard to have and be energized when, for instance, you're stuck on 5'10" and you just keep doing 5'10s, and it doesn't feel as energy efficient as like when you hit a new grade.
Okay.
So you have to figure out a different mentality for that. You have to figure out why that's draining your energy. And I'm still in the introspection phase of that. I have not figured that out, but I think it's important to do that so that you can either mitigate the drain of energy by having steps to not have your energy drained, or just change your mindset completely on it. And then the last is, what are you grateful for? This is for finding, helping you find steps to reach your goal, and just like in general, increase a positive mindset, because you do need a very positive mindset to achieve goals, right? Yeah. So like, for instance, I'm grateful for you pushing me to help with this YouTube channel and pushing me to help work out, and maybe shaming me a little bit when I don't.
My pleasure.
I'm also grateful that I have such a great family. I have a cute little niece. She's adorable, but it's great. Thinking positive, thinking what you're grateful for, and doing this on a daily basis really helps keep a positive mindset. And in general, increase, while may not be ever related to whatever your goal or resolution is, just having that positive mindset means you're more likely to achieve and to go out and work for it.
Yeah, I like that. Because there is a little bit more to just the goal itself, right?
Right.
It's about how you carry yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now this form that the video that we saw before mentioned has a lot of other steps in it.
Okay.
I'll let him go over those steps. Does a really good job, but one of the most important things that he talks about is the Goldilocks zone, where
not too hot, not too cold.
Exactly. Not too hard, not too easy.
Okay.
Right?
Just right.
Like, if I were to say, so my current best on rock climbing is 5'10".
Yeah.
If I set my goal at 5'13",
right,
I'm not getting there.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, I want to consistently get 5'10s every single day, like sometimes I'm not able to get that. If that were my goal, like, I'm already almost doing that. That's just not that's just too easy of a goal. Like, you achieve it and you don't feel that accomplished about it. Right. So that's a very important aspect. You have to find something for yourself that you cannot do or you're targeting being able to do. And eventually you feel super achieved when you get there.
Right. Okay. I have a question about, unless you do you have something else on that one?
Nope.
Okay. Question on the second one. What was it? The second of those three
what
steps?
drained you of energy?
What drains you of energy? Can you explain that one more time to me?
For instance, let's say throughout your day, something that I don't know what drains you personally of energy. Something that drains me of energy that is really dumb is eating candy.
Okay.
Because eating sugary or things, I have a huge urge to do it all the time.
Yeah.
But after I eat it and after it calms down, it does drain my energy in a very physical way. So that's a physical, biological example of it.
Right.
But then there's also the emotional side of it, right? Where like, let's say it's interpersonal relationships and something that drains you of energy is, I don't know, arguing with a significant other or when you're at work having someone say something that, or just talking to people too often there.
Right. Taking that spark away from you kind of thing.
Exactly. And like when you get home from work, you're like, oh, man, I just don't want to do anything. Right.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure everyone's felt
what puts you in that state?
Yeah. What puts you in the state of, oh, I don't want to do anything anymore. Like it's important to figure out why you're being drained of that energy. I mean, there are obviously some people who work 14 hours, 12 hours a day. And it's like, obviously they're getting drained of energy because they're out of freaking energy. They've worked too much.
How do you think you can, I mean, some of them are, probably easier than others. Like you said, candy, you notice that, you get that burst and then you crash. How do you identify what the energy drainers are?
I think what it takes is just introspection on a daily basis. Like just when you get home, take a minute for yourself and think about the three things that I talked about, where it's what excited you that day, what drained you of energy, and what are you grateful for in that day. And like when you get home, just think about it for a minute. You can journal it if you want. Sometimes you and I both failed at journaling as well. So maybe not writing.
Been there, done that, done it again, been there again, stopped again.
So the ideal would be to journal that. But like, if you don't want to journal it, just thinking about it, sitting there for 10 minutes and thinking about those things. Like what during the day did you get excited about? What try to think about specific instances in the day that just where something happened or you did something and just like you lost some energy from it. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit, because a little bit, a lot of number of times will drain you enough to make it so that you're not excited for the rest of your day. Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Almost maybe even taking like some sort of note every time you feel tired throughout the day too.
Yeah, that would be
just like, oh, I feel kind of tired right now. And then being like, okay, well, what did I do recently?
Yep.
Did I just eat, a certain kind of meal and I feel tired, or did I just get done with a different task?
Yep, exactly. And like, eventually you'll figure out, oh man, I personally think that this is what drained me and it doesn't feel good. Like, and then maybe, I mean, if it's an interpersonal relationship thing, maybe you just change your mindset of that relationship.
Right.
You can't necessarily control what other people do. Right. So like you just change how you think about what they're doing. You think about what the other person's perspective is. And then you're like, oh, well, I understand. That's why they're doing this. So I guess maybe that's understandable and it won't drain you of as much energy.
Okay. So let's see. You had your New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year, started off well, failed. You've kind of taken a re-look at what's going on. What do you have in store? What do you have planned for the future to make your New Year's resolutions come true?
Right. So the first resolution was the goal of working out 5 days a week. I'm just throwing that not completely out the window, but I'm changing that goal to achieve a 5'11" on a achieve 5'11" rock climbing.
Okay.
Right. And to do that, I'm going to attempt to work out 5 days a week while going in the morning, doing this stuff. And like, I'm going to have those check marks as, okay, I'm working towards that goal. But if I end up not actually working out one day, it doesn't just destroy my goal. The goal is still there.
Right. Until you climb.
Until I climb a 5'11", and then maybe set a new goal for myself. Right. Additionally, cleaning the house, doing one chore every day of the week. I won't have that be a goal anymore.
Okay.
What I'll have as the goal is get my house so that my mom would approve of it.
Okay. How daily or?
No, just eventually get my house clean enough that my mom would approve of the cleanliness. And to do that, I will attempt to do a chore every single day.
Okay.
Some kind of household chore, whatever that might be. I will start folding my laundry. I will clean the bathrooms. I'll do all of this. But like, if the end goal is to have the house as clean as my mother would approve of it, that is a very lofty goal. That's close to the top end of the Goldilocks. I'm going to be frank with you. But,
okay. Do you think that there's any importance in putting time frames on those things so that, you don't lose track or aren't on the path to getting towards your goal?
I do think that is important. I think having an end date for whatever your goal is very important, because then like you do need to have a chance of failure, right? Because you can't just go through life without having the chance to fail, doing something that you don't have a chance of failing. Right. Like if you never risk failure, then it's not a good goal in the first place. So having a time frame is important for that.
Right. And what do you think that time frame would be for, say, your goals? When would you, obviously people that don't rock climb might not understand the process of getting to 5'11", but like we'll say for the rock climbing goal, what do you think is a good time frame for that goal?
So I think I want to set that goal to the summer. I think I'm going to say June.
Okay.
For that 5'11" goal.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reasonable amount. So it's January 18th, you said? And
yes.
If we set that goal for June, that's 5 months away.
Okay.
We'll have to edit or cut out the me counting that on my fingers.
Okay. And then how about the other goal of getting your house to a standard in which your mother would approve of?
That one is much more urgent.
Okay.
My mom is visiting me next week.
Okay, well, good.
That is a much more urgent goal. So I'm going to work hard on that one this week. That might again be unattainable, but I'm going to work my hardest. We have Monday off of work.
Yeah.
I'm going to work hard on Monday trying to get my house cleaned.
Right.
I'm going to work hard this week, try to get it as clean as possible. My mom will come here. She will not approve of it. She will help me get it to that point, so I'll know what I have to do for the next time she comes.
So I like your 5'11" goal a lot, because it's kind of once it's there, it's been done, right?
Right.
So I mean, obviously, you want to continue to be able to climb 5'11s after you've done it once, but you at least can say like I've done that.
You've surmounted the peak.
Exactly. Whereas with the house cleaning goal, cleaning your house one time to acceptable level is not going to be like the satisfying level to you, right?
Right.
How do you think that you could check in with yourself to make sure that you're satisfied with it?
It's a good question. I honestly hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, because like you said, that having that peak is important, right?
Right.
But if it's something that's a little bit more day to day, like I imagine, like you're going to want to have your new baseline be closer to that standard, right?
Yeah,
is kind of the goal.
That is indeed the goal, is having my baseline up higher. But I don't know. I don't know how I'd go about doing that, honestly.
So maybe just,
that's something I'll have
giving
to
a
think
definition to what achieving the goal of house cleanliness looks like. Because obviously you're going to have messy days. You're going to have, cleaner days. Like that's natural. So finding a definition of what satisfies you as far as that, maybe.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to consider. I'll have to think on that, honestly.
Cool.
And in the future, I'm gonna have another goal.
What's that?
It's based on this YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
So my goal on this YouTube channel is to have it monetized by the end of the year.
Oof. Okay.
By the end of 2025, I want to be monetized on this YouTube channel.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think that keeping our sites focused on creating good content and stuff is gonna get there, and I think that with a steady pace, I don't think that's unreasonable.
Yeah, I agree. I think, especially since we got 100 whole views on that last video. We don't know 100 people each. We don't know 100 people together.
We certainly didn't have 100 people watch our posts. So yes, we're very excited to be growing the YouTube channel, and I agree. Maybe my exact measure of that is different, but I certainly want to see the channel growing by the end of the year. I like that goal.
Yeah,
awesome. So okay, you've explained a little bit of this, but tell me in terms of what your goals are now, what makes the new plan better than the old plan?
Well, the first factor is just having that mountain to surmount for the 511 and for the YouTube goal. Like once we hit those levels,
right,
I'll have that surmounted that
yes.
mountain. I guess I need to figure out what that is for house cleanliness. I don't know off the top of my head. If you have an idea, throw it down in the comments. That'd be really useful.
Yeah.
Having a mass brainstorm, it would be very helpful for me. But yeah, I think having that end goal is just so important, and I'm really excited about. I'm excited about completing these goals, right? And like, they're things that I enjoy already, so it'll be. I think while they're not easy to complete, it'll be easy for me to complete the process of it.
Okay. And then the last question I have for you is, you already answered part of it. I wanted to know what achieving your goal looks like. You've told me the specifics. Climbing a 511, keeping your house to standards in which you're used to, growing up and
right.
at home, and then hitting monetization for the YouTube channel. But how will you feel after completing these goals? That's something that I think that goes to the wayside a little bit. Is we have goals for a reason, right? We have goals because we want to be somewhere further than where we are now. What feelings do you think will be associated with this, and where will it take you in the future?
Oh, that's a great question. I'll break it down one at a time.
Yeah.
The 511 climbing goal, I think I'll just be absolutely hype.
Okay.
Like I'd be so hyped if I got that. I'd be talking about it for a week to all my friends. I'd be trying to get it again. That one, it's all hype, all excitement, right? Yeah.
What does it tell you about yourself though? What kind of narrative, for yourself do you get by achieving that goal?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think just it's a sense of achievement, right? Like I'll feel I'd achieved something, right?
Yeah.
Like I would feel if I got that, I would feel like I achieved something that I would have been quite literally impossible for me a year before.
Right.
Right. So when you hit that, where like you achieve something that was just absolutely not possible to achieve, it just feels so great. I don't really have a better explanation for that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. And then you were going to go
step by
into your
step.
next goal. What's that?
The house cleanliness. Honestly, yeah. I would feel clean. I don't know exactly a better way to describe it. Like I would. Why
do you want to have your house clean? Right. You live by yourself currently, so
yep.
You don't have to do it for the standard of somebody else. But there's clearly something driving you to want to change that. So what is the purpose behind the goal?
Well, I'd be able to not be embarrassed at all when I had people over. I'd be able to just feel comfortable inviting others over if I want to, instead of, hoping they invite me over. Things of that nature would be more achievable.
Yeah. And the reason I ask that is because I think that possibly maybe that is a marker, right? As soon as
right.
you mentioned twice over quickly there is that you'd like to feel more comfortable having company.
Yeah.
Maybe the goal is to have a certain, number of gatherings, and you have to be clean for that. And, you can feel proud of the fact that, your house looked good enough for an event.
That's a great idea. Honestly, like that could be my goal, is to have people over, like have a gathering at my house. Yeah, that's a great idea. I like that.
And then the last one was for the channel. What does getting monetization mean for you in the literal sense? And, what does it kind of make you feel about what we're doing for the channel?
Yeah, I mean, monetization would help justify all of the investment that I've put into the channel, all of the time, all of the research. Like you and I have both already done a lot to try to make this channel succeed, whether it's buying this microphone, buying that camera, buying these headphones, working on editing, doing all of this stuff. It would make it feel like all of that stuff that I've already put into the channel would have gone towards something eventually. I mean, obviously the ideal for every content creator is to live off of their content creation.
Right.
Right. But like you and I have talked about this, while that's the ideal, just like making our money, our investment back would be a achievement in itself. Right. And like, I don't know that is a pretty lofty goal. It's not going to be an easy one for us to achieve. Like even if we post every week and we figure out what we want to do, figure out everything like that, like it's still sometimes not.
A lot of people pulling for the same dream, right?
Yeah.
So,
heavily competitive for sure.
So it'd be one that, you could hang your hat on. You'd be,
Yeah.
Definitely proud of.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have. Do you have any closing thoughts about New Year's resolution goals in general that you'd like to discuss?
I mean, yeah, I just think really finding, and it's really important to just set a goal that you not just think you should achieve, one that you really want to achieve, one
Right.
that you have a drive to get to, right? When you set one that's like, oh, I should lose weight because I'm getting overweight, or I should do this because I'm don't like that about me. That's not a good goal. What's a good goal is something that you really are excited about achieving, right? And maybe a part of that is the process is about losing weight or getting in shape or whatever other goal that you have, whatever other process that you have out there that you think you should do. That should not be your resolution. Those are good things for you. It's good to do, but you're not doing it, and you're going to fail, and you're going to stop, and you're going to wait till next year and do the same thing again. What you really need, what everyone really needs, is just having that goal that you can achieve. You can surmount that mountain. And then maybe instead of making it a New Year's resolution, when you hit that goal, make another one.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't have to be on a yearly basis.
Exactly. Like, why do we only want to better ourselves once a year?
I agree, man. I agree. Well, hey, I think that there's a lot for both of us to ponder on that. I think that we should continue to do these perspective videos.
Yeah, I really like it.
I'm really excited to open up a new portion of the channel, and we will see you guys soon, because Adam is going to be interviewing me on my thoughts and perspectives on New Year's resolutions.
Exactly. I hope you guys have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of those things.
All right. Peace.